silly mounted singing bass? The one you got for Christmas 4 years in a row from your wacky uncle? Well, the spark of genius behind this beloved novelty harkens back to 1984. On an early April morning, an unsuspecting fisherwoman, Marcia St. Clair, cast her line and reeled in one whopper of an idea in the form of Farnsworth, the singing fish. This crazy crooner served as the model for everyone's favorite wall-eyed wall hanging. He may have been the one that got away, but thanks to Marcia, Farnsworth the fish has sung and danced his way into all of our hearts. And that's the story behind the story. Welcome to another episode of the planet's funniest animals. All the laughs, all the pets, none of the mess. So call your cat to the couch and tell your show dog it's showtime, because we're about to let loose a raccoon that wears way too much makeup. A dog who keeps trying to think outside the box. In this old clip, two cats run faster than greased lightning. A sweetie and a Tweety share something to eat. Skeeter goes from the dog bowl to the Super Bowl. We find out who's on Donder and Blitzen's naughty list. And in the news, a dog who's goal-oriented. So put on some clothes and pull up a chair. It's time for the show that has more jokes than a centipede has legs. It's the planet's funniest animal.
No one likes to be fenced in, especially when you're a free spirit like Scamper. But it wasn't the call of the wild that got him to jump the fence. It was a call from his twin brother telling him about the new fire hydrant they just installed at the corner. The birds were tired of Sasha the squirrel eating all the birdseed left out for them. So they had a meeting and devised a plan. They glued a fake oak tree nut inside a cardboard tube. Now, while the squirrel spends hours trying to get the nut out, they eat all the birdseed. Genius, I tell you. Genius! You've heard of the King of the Hill. Well, these goats are playing King of the Table.
Thunder.
And Thunder has a dream of being king. But before he can knock lightning off the table and realize his dream, he needs to conquer that slide. Thunder has no idea why he wants to be king of the table, but he wants it. A lesser goat would have given up, but not Thunder. He will keep trying until he becomes king. Someday, Thunder. Someday. They say if at first you don't succeed, try again. But if you're trying to succeed at opening a container filled with your favorite treats, it's best to pry again. Really grand. Now he feels like an ostrich with his head in the sand. It was bad enough he disturbed the quiet. Now they all know he had broken his diet. But they need someone to get the tails apart. It won't help them to play it coy, cause what they really need is an underwater cowboy. It looks like the kitty is after the fish, but that is not his favorite dish. My rating is mine. I can't unravel that this is a cat with a craving for gravel. hasn't had a good night's sleep in a week, because when he puts his head down, he often hears a squeak. You don't have to read minds or be a know-it-all to figure out it was his favorite ball. Poor Tussie. Just when you thought nothing could get worse than when she and her friend made a mess of the chocolate factory. When she took a job as a short-order cook, she found herself in over her head. After dropping her gum in the pancake batter, things went from bad to worse. Now, she didn't have a chance of performing at the club with her husband, Ricky. Wah, Ricky. The only thing easier than taking candy from a baby is taking cereal from a baby. Polly doesn't want a cracker. She wants a sugar-coated snack. Luckily, babies like birdies more than they like their breakfast. Little Jessica here has dreams of being well-known in Hollywood. Not as a singer, as a celebrity dog trainer. How many other one-year-olds do you know that taught their dog to sing scales? Rambler had heard them say that Trevor was the sweetest baby on the block. So he was determined to get not just a good look, but a good lick as well. And sure enough, that baby was as sweet as a dog biscuit dipped in honey. And just as sticky, too. Although the dog was bigger, Champ and Becky seemed evenly matched in terms of strength. It was hard to say who would ultimately win this game of give and take. But it was clear that Dad would be the loser when he went to put on his stretched-out socks. It's easy to teach a dog how to sit and roll over, but teaching him to dance the Watusi is a whole nother story. What's more fun than eating cookies in the park? Getting personally cleaned and preened by a pack of pigeons. It turns out pigeons are better at cleaning up a mess than they are at making one. They say count.
Imagine a planet. Imagine a planet where you don't need to join the witness protection program to disappear.
'Twas the day before Christmas, and all through the farm the reindeer were hungry, but meaning no harm. But then I came along in my cool shades and t-shirt and learned that this look could get a guy hurt. On Dasher, on Dancer, and Comet and Cupid, when it comes to reindeer games, they think all humans are stupid. They say the day after Thanksgiving is the official start of the Christmas holiday season. But the day before Thanksgiving is the official start of the running of the turkeys. Nutmeg and Eggnog had their paws full, getting ready for the holidays. Once they hung the garlands and decorated the tree, it was time to take turns being the Christmas ornaments. Grinchy the cat was a mean one. He knew that Santa couldn't deliver the presents without his reindeer, so he decided to kidnap Rudolph in order to get that 3-tier cat scratcher he'd been asking for years. But the joke was on him. he accidentally nabbed Randolph, Santa's superfluous reindeer. Every year, Nutley told his mom not to use the bird feeder as a stocking. And every year, she ignored him and hung the darn thing too high for him to reach. And this time, she added a decorative top for good measure. Doesn't she know? Kids don't give a hoot how nice things look. They just care about the goodies inside. Since good things come in little packages, Leland figured that even better things must come in bigger packages. Especially when someone took the time to wrap the gift so carefully and tie it up with a fancy ribbon. Yes, he could see it now. Another box. Oh, brother. By the time he got to the present, it would probably be next Christmas. Whenever Skeeter ran one back, fans would be in for the Skeeter strut. It may not be that impressive by today's standards, but back in the day, the fans would go crazy. So, next time you make it into the end zone, Bobby, treat the fans to a little old school. It'll be worth the 15-yard penalty. Look, it's everyone's favorite comedy team, Rabbit and Costello. It seems they're practicing their classic routine, who's hopping first? It's amazing the way they can still hippity-hop, considering they both recently had hip replacements. It seemed kind of ridiculous that Buster had been jumping up and down for the last few hours trying to get a drink out of the sink, considering the toilet was just a few inches away. But at least this explains why the sink drain is always clogged with hair. Do-it-yourself remodeling is never an easy task, especially if you make your dog your contractor. Just because he can say roof, roof, doesn't mean he can fix a roof. Molly was one determined feline. She did not care that it was 45 degrees outside with 5 feet of snow on the ground. National tryouts were right around the corner, and nothing was going to stop her from trying out her new volleyball shoes. She did not care that her owner had a wicked high serve. The higher it went, the more she could test out her new shoes. She heard they could add 3 inches to her vertical leap. Nationals, here we come. The townspeople had second thoughts about electing a dog as a mayor, especially since the budget was in chaos and the garbage collectors were on strike. But he seemed to have plenty of time for his physical fitness program. And they had to admit, he could jump a heck of a lot higher than the last mayor.
Breathe in deeply, and as you slowly breathe out, feel the worries and problems of your workaday world leaving you completely. That's right. Loosen your tie, take off your shoes, and feel yourself flowing like a river over a waterfall into a deep state of relaxation. Deeper, deeper, deeper. When I snap my fingers, you will awake, feeling refreshed and invigorated. Awake. Or not.
When a dog wags his tail, it means he's...
Cat with her very own clothesline. A dog that does dishes. A hamster that does windows.